Today's lesson is badminton, a game of speed, feathers, and fun. Hi, everybody. I'm Roger.
And I'm Mike.
And today we're going to continue talking about the sport of badminton, which, of course, is called 羽毛球 here in Taiwan. And, of course, we talked about where it came from. There were early versions of this game in ancient Greece, China, and India. But when we had these British soldiers stationed in India, they picked up the game in Pune, and they brought it back to England and introduced it to the Duke of Beaufort at a party at his home, and there it took off like fire. It spread around England, and later on, of course, it spread around the world. And they started to have written rules way back in 1877, and now we have this modern championship, which still takes place today.
So we've learned a little bit of the history, which is very useful to kind of know about the story of badminton, how long it's been around. We're quite surprised to discover that a form of badminton was even being played back in ancient Greece, ancient China, and ancient India. Today, though, we're going to turn our attention to some really interesting facts about badminton. We've covered some of the history, so let's find out some of the interesting trivia, or kind of, not necessarily important, but useful and interesting little facts about this very popular sport of badminton.
Now that we know about badminton's history, it's time to dig into some interesting badminton facts.
大家好，第一部分介绍片语 dig into， 意思是深入探究或是仔细研究。例如Eric is digging into his family's past, hoping to find where they came from. Eric 在挖掘家族的过往，期望能找出他们的根源。或者 The detective dug into the criminal's past to try and find out his motivations. 警探细探了名罪犯的过去，试图找出他的动机。
Okay, so in today's lesson, we've got the introductory paragraph or the introductory sentence here. It says, now that we know about badminton's history, well, let's dig into some interesting badminton facts, some trivia here. So now we know about the history of badminton. We know about that. Most people like history. Some people don't. We don't want to talk about the history. Let's actually talk about the game itself. So now let's do that. Let's talk about some various aspects of the game, the shuttlecock itself, the rackets, the Olympic sports, all involved with this particular sport. So let's get to it. Let's listen to the second part of our lesson right now.
Origins of the shuttlecock. A traditional shuttlecock, or birdie, is made of 16 goose or duck feathers. Feathers from right or left wings only are used in each shuttlecock. This is because feathers from different wings differ in shape, which means that mixing feathers would impact flight stability. The fastest racket sport. Badminton holds the title of the fastest racket sport in the world. Amazingly, the shuttlecock can reach speeds of over 320 kilometers per hour. Olympic glory. Badminton became an official Olympic sport in the Barcelona 1992 Olympics. Since then, it has become one of the most anticipated events, especially in Asian countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, and Japan. In the Paris 2024 Olympics, Taiwanese badminton players Li Yang and Wang Qilin won gold in men's doubles, further solidifying badminton's popularity in Taiwan.
第二部分看到 differ 这个单字，它是动词，表示与点点点不同或是有区别。例如 Although Laura and Kim are twins, their personalities differ considerably. 虽然 Laura 和 Kim 是双胞胎，但他们的个性大相径庭。另外补充这个字的名词 difference, D-I-F-F-E-R-E-N-C-E, difference, 意思是差异或是不同。举例来说 The differences between these phones are size and price. 这些手机之间的差异在于尺寸和价格。或者 My mom taught me the difference between right and wrong. 妈妈教导我对与错的差别。继续看到名词 stability, 它的意思是稳定或是稳固。例如 The frequent changes in leadership have brought questions about the company's stability. 领导阶层的频繁变动引发了对公司稳定性的疑虑。也可以说A lack of political stability can make it difficult for a country to attract foreign investment. 缺乏政治稳定性 可能会使一个国家难以吸引外资。另外补充这个字的形容词 stable， S-T-A-B-L-E stable， 意思是稳定的、稳固的或是牢固的。举例来说 A stable stock market is good for investors， 稳定的股市对投资者有利。或是 Mark has had his stable job for 12 years， Mark 有一份12年的稳定工作。最后介绍动词 anticipate， 表示预期、期待或是预料。在课文中 anticipated 为过去分词做形容词用，表示期待的或是预期的。我们可以说 Fans waited for the anticipated return of their favorite TV show。 粉丝们等待着他们最爱的电视节目备受期待的回归。又或者说 Willie already had bought tickets for the hotly anticipated concert。 Willie 已经买好那场备受期待的演唱会门票了。另外补充同义动词 expect， E-X-P-E-C-T expect。 举个例子 We expect the price of gas to go up。 我们预料油价会上涨。另一个例子 Ian is expecting great action scenes in the movie。 Ian 期待着电影中的精彩动作画面。
All right, so yes, let's begin with the object that you're actually hitting across the net. We're talking about the origins of the shuttlecock. That is one word that we use to describe that thing, the thing that you're trying to hit with your racket in the sport of badminton. It says a traditional shuttlecock or birdie is made of 16 goose or duck feathers. Good luck finding one that's actually made of goose or duck feathers these days, but that is the traditional way that you would have it, maybe back until the 60s or 70s. When plastic became easier and cheaper, they used to make them in this kind of way. And yes, there are a couple of terms for it. The shuttlecock, that's one. Birdie, I would say, is a bit more North American. British people might say shuttlecock. North Americans might say birdie. Both of them should be understood equally as the thing that you're trying to hit. And traditionally, it is actually made of feathers. So calling it a birdie, it does have some relationship to its origins. It's made of 16 goose or duck feathers. It says feathers from right or left wings only are used in each shuttlecock. So there's probably a good reason for that. I'm guessing it has something to do with keeping the shuttlecock aerodynamic.
Yeah, I never thought of that. You either have to use the feathers from the right wing only or from the left wing only. You can't mix them up. And this is because feathers from different wings differ in shape, which means that mixing feathers would impact flight stability. So
I think it's also true for arrows as well.
I would imagine so. Yeah, they've got feathers there as well for archery.
Right.
But yes, the feathers from different wings differ in shape. Differ here is the verb from different. That means they are different. They differ in shape. If you mix them up, of course, they're not going to be aerodynamic, and the birdie or shuttlecock is going to fly all over the place, and you won't really know its flight at all. And yes, indeed, mixing those feathers would impact flight stability. Impact, you could say it either way. That just means it will affect something in a strong way. And stability refers to how stable something is, which refers to basically not being unpredictable. It's something that you can rely on. We all want stability in our lives, a good job, a stable relationship with somebody, a good marriage. We don't want to have our lives being chaotic and eventually living under a bridge somewhere.
That's right. People who work on those gig economy jobs might not have financial stability, right? If you're working a lot, you'll make money, but if the work dries up, you won't have any money. Whereas if you have a regular job with a big company, at least you have stability. You'll know how much money you're going to make week by week, month by month. Okay, so there you go. The shuttlecock is actually quite a sophisticated piece of technology. And here's something else interesting. It is the fastest racket sport. Okay, I think this will take a bit of explanation. It says badminton holds the title of the fastest racket sport in the world. Now, when I'm thinking of tennis, I'm thinking of often those tennis players are serving at 130, 140 kilometers an hour, some of the fastest, most powerful serves. So badminton is going faster than that? Well, yes. It says amazingly or incredibly, hard to believe but true, the shuttlecock can reach speeds of over 320 kilometers per hour? I think the high-speed train goes around 300 kilometers per hour.
Wow.
So this is a bit faster than that. I'm guessing that this is only for a very short period of time. When you hit the badminton birdie really hard, the first meter or two, it might be going that fast. But then, of course, the feathers, the design of the birdie slows it down, and it quickly starts to drop towards the ground. Otherwise, this would basically be impossible. I mean, if you're trying to hit a tennis ball going at 320 kilometers per hour, I don't think your eye or body or arm would have a chance to react. So it does go that fast, but for a very short, limited period of time before it slows down very quickly.
And that's the tricky part of badminton for me. The shuttlecock changes speed pretty quickly. So when I was first learning, of course, I was always swinging the racket too early because the shuttlecock slowed down because of air resistance. But that's a challenge, and also this racket sport does require a lot of hand-eye coordination. You got to have a fast reaction to be able to play this game. So we've talked about 2 points here, the origins of the shuttlecock and the fact that it's the fastest racket sport in the world. Well, now let's talk about Olympic glory. Olympic here refers to the Olympic Games that take place every 4 years. The last time it took place was last year in Paris, 2024, and badminton became an official Olympic sport in the Barcelona 1992 Olympics.
Really?
Okay, so again, the Olympics take place every 4 years in a different city in the world. And yes, it became an official sport in the Olympics way back in 1992. I'm kind of surprised. I thought it would have been earlier than that.
Yeah, me too. The Olympics have been, or the modern Olympics have been around since 1896. So almost 100 years of Olympics without badminton being an official Olympic sport. We do have these sort of trial sports or demonstration sports. So they might have been playing badminton in the Olympics a few years before 1992, but it wasn't counted as one of the normal medal events. So that is quite interesting. Only in the early 90s did badminton actually become an official Olympic sport. Now, though, it is there. I don't think it's going anywhere. I think badminton is still becoming more popular around the world, and that's what they like to see in the Olympics, right? Sports that many countries can compete in and many people can easily try to play out. That's the type of sport they like to include in the Olympics movement. It says since then, since 1992, it has become one of the most anticipated events, especially in Asian countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, and Japan. So yes, it is very much a popular sport. A lot of people will go to watch it. A lot of people know about the players and who's good and who's getting better and who's the star of tomorrow or the stars of yesterday who are on their way out. So it's very anticipated. It's highly looked for. It's highly enjoyed. People really are excited about it days or weeks or months before the Olympics. Sports writers will be writing about it. Who are the favorites? Who's looking to win the medal? Is this person going to come back and repeat their gold medal performance, or is there some new young player? So something's anticipated. It's being looked forward to. People are excited about it. It's probably coming up in the near to medium future, and there's a lot of excitement, anticipation, and interest in something that's going on. And this is especially in countries that are good at the sport. In this case, Asian countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, Japan, Taiwan, China, of course, as well. And a lot of the reason for that anticipation, to use the noun form of anticipate, is because a certain country has had success in the sport before, and people are hungry for more medals in a sport that we know we're good at, as we would say.
Indeed, it seems like Asian countries dominate badminton, although I think the Danes,
they're
from
quite
Denmark,
good.
They do well as well.
Sweden, maybe, yeah.
But Scandinavian countries probably do quite well. I don't think the Americans or the Canadians are particularly good at badminton, but of course here in Taiwan, people love badminton, and we've got Taiwanese badminton players by the name of Li Yang and Wang Zhilin. They won gold in men's doubles at the Olympics, further solidifying badminton's popularity in Taiwan. So, of course, you got the doubles, which means they play together. You got men's doubles, 2 men against 2 other men. You've got mixed doubles, 1 man, 1 woman against another man and another woman. And then you got the singles for men and women. But this is the men's doubles competition, and they won the gold medal at the Olympics last year. And that has further solidified badminton's popularity. To solidify just means to make something more solid, more firm, more stable. That just means badminton is even more popular than it was before. And popularity, of course, is the degree to which something is popular. The popularity of badminton in Taiwan continues to grow.
It absolutely does, yeah. And of course, the men's success is following on after Dai Tzu-ying also had great success in the women's category, being world champion and I believe an Olympic silver medalist, was it? 4 years ago in 2021, but actually in the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. So there you go. Both men and women and young boys and girls, hopefully in Taiwan, will be bringing the country great success further into the future. Let's read the last part of our article, and then we'll be back to wrap things up.
Badminton's fast pace and unique history make it a beloved sport. Its continued popularity shows that badminton is likely to remain a favorite in both recreational and competitive circles.
Okay, the last paragraph here sums up our article. It completes it. It ends it. It says, badminton's fast-paced and unique history make it a beloved sport. Okay, if something's beloved or beloved, that means it's something you think is very special. You love that thing. And yes, we have two reasons why people love badminton. It is fast-paced. It moves very fast. It's very exciting both to play and to watch. And it's also got this unique history. It's been around for a long time. Games that are similar to modern badminton were played in ancient Greece and China and India. And of course, later on, it was brought to England and then spread from there throughout the world. So yes, indeed, it's a beloved sport. It's a sport that's loved by people all over the world.
Its continued popularity shows that badminton is likely to remain a favorite in both recreational and competitive circles. In other words, badminton isn't going anywhere. It continues to be popular as more people see it on TV and get access to gyms or other places they can play it. They will probably be taking part, and it shows that badminton is likely, there's a very strong chance, this will remain a favorite in both recreational, just for fun, playing badminton on the weekends with your friends at a picnic or something like that, or maybe as a sports activity, a healthy activity that you do because you enjoy it. You can do it with your friends. It's more interesting than going to the gym. Or maybe you're going to go pro and get into the competitive circles of badminton. And hey, who knows? Maybe go out and win yourself your own gold medal for your country. Well, I would say go for it. It's a fun sport. Pretty much anyone can play this sport.
Yeah, it's so easy to get into. Yeah, you can go down to your local sports store and get a couple of rackets and shuttlecocks, and you're good to go.
You don't need to be in great shape to play it in a casual way.
Yeah, and you don't need any special clothing either. You can even play it in your 拖鞋, your sandals or whatever.
I don't know about that.
Go out and knock yourself out, although you got to be careful about playing outdoors because it can be windy sometimes and it's hard to hit the birdie when it's being blown around in the wind like that. Okay, that brings us to the end of our discussion for today. Here comes Hanny.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。课文一开始提到，既然我们知道了羽球的历史，是时候深入探究一些有趣的羽球事实了。文中是用 It's time to dig into 来表达是时候深入探究什么什么了。那么 dig into 就表示深入探究、仔细研究。而我们这边要介绍的是 It's time 的句型。It's time 后面加上to 加原形动词，也可以加上 for 加名词，可以表达现在正是什么的时候，像 It's time to take a break 或是 It's time for a break， 休息时间到了。好，那另外 It's time 后面还可以接 that 子句来表达该是什么什么的时候了。这个用法是在强调某件事早该做而没有做的意思，带有假设的意味。那么 that 子句里面的动词要用过去式。我们在使用 It's time 加 that 子句的时候呢， time 的前面可以加上 high 或者是 about， 也就是 It's high time, It's about time 这样子。举例来说， It's high time that Joe got a new job。 该是 Joe 去找新工作的时候了，那这表示他早该去找新工作了。课文第二部分他有提到，羽球在1992年巴塞隆纳奥运成为正式的奥运比赛项目，从那时起它已成为最受期待的比赛之一。那文中是用 one of the most anticipated events 来表达最受期待的比赛之一。 Anticipate 这个动词它表示预期、期待、预料。那文中是用过去分词来当形容词去描述期待的、预期的。好，那我们来学习一下 anticipate 它的字首字根。先看到 anti 这个字首跟反对对抗没有关系哦，它其实是字首 ante 的变形，表示之前。那它的字根 cip 表示接受或拿取。字尾 ate 是动词字尾，那合在一起 anticipate 它的字面意思是事先取得，比别人早行动的意思，那么后来引申出预期、预料的语义。这边顺便介绍一下 ante 这个字首，那这个字首呢，它表示之前或是先前的，在点点点之前的，常常会出现在复合字当中，像 anteroom 就是表达通往比较大、比较重要房间的那种前厅啊、接待室。那我们这边也补充几个带有 ante 这个字首的单字。第一个是 antenatal， 它的字首 ante 表示之前， natal 表示出生的，合在一起 antenatal 是指产前的、出生前的。第二个补充的是 anterior， 它的字首 ante 表示之前， rior 是形容词字尾，那么合在一起 anterior 它可以用来形容可能是空间上啊、时间上或顺序上是前面的，形容先前的或是较早的。第三个补充的是 antedate， 它的字首 ante 表示在点点点之前， date 这部分是日期，那合在一起 antedate 就是指时间上先于什么、早于什么什么存在。好，那以上就是今天重点整理，我们回顾今天的单字吧。
Differ. Prices for the same product can differ from store to store. Impact. Eugene's decision to leave the company will impact the entire team. Stability. Political stability is necessary for attracting foreign investments. Anticipate. Hannah is anticipating the chance to spend time with her family during the holidays. Popularity. There has been a dramatic rise in the popularity of Korean music in recent years. Beloved. Earl's beloved dog always greets him happily when he comes home from work.
Discussion Starter starts now!
Here's our discussion starter for today. The question is, are you a fan of badminton? Why or why not?
I am, but I'll answer in the negative. I'll say I'm not really into badminton, considering that as a kid, it was more a recreational sport. I didn't see professional badminton on TV, so it was never really a sport that I thought of taking up seriously, but I do actually kind of like badminton. It's fun to watch on TV, especially the Olympics.
I agree with you there, but I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan of the sport, but I am a fan of the sport. It is easy to play with your family members. Again, don't go out on a windy day. And of course, in Taipei here, I don't know about the rest of Taiwan, but there are athletic centers in each district, and all you got to do is reserve a court or something like that and have someone to play with, and you're good to go. You can have the time of your life. Well, that brings us to the end of another edition of our program, and please make sure you join us again next time. From all of us here, I am Roger.
I am Mike.
See you next time.